So I think like number one for squat mobility is like just don't remove your squat mobility. I mean, your lower back is in the middle, so everything around it is there to protect it.
Knees over toes, guys. Stopped by StrengthSide HQ so we could compare mobility tools.
So you don't lift with a round, you come out of a round.
Dude, that is really cool.
This is like a primal sled kind of.
It turned into an in-depth full body mobility checklist that will hopefully help a lot of people become flexible.
You were willing to join me in this and just give away everything we know.
Dude, no secrets.
We work from the ankles to the hips, spine, shoulders, and even the wrists. This is the Live Mobility Podcast with Ben Patrick.
Right. Now we're like,
cool to see the knees over toes guy jump in real life too.
all right, here with mobility legend, among many other things, Super Dad. And we're gonna go over the mobility checklist for our own bodies that we think are things we wanna do the rest of our lives, zones that we wanna train. Yeah. And rather than criticize each other, just share to you that there's different ways to get to the same mountaintop.
Yeah.
And so let's break it down. I'll have you start. So you probably do something for foot, ankle. What do you do?
Okay, so I think it's perfect starting with foot and ankle because I think like getting your feet warmed up for anything, like it's where all our nerve endings are, right? Like it really gets the body primed. So usually when I start a session, I'm gonna do some sitting on my ankles. You know, Seiza, good way to stretch the front of the shins. Know that you guys do this too. I also like to go toes down. And I think that's something that we kind of agree on is that big toe extension is super important for your body. And one thing I learned from actually this guy, Tom Wexler, dancer, pushing the heels together in this position actually really kind of lights up that bottom of the foot, and even doing this barefoot will really light that up.
I agree with that fully, coming from a really wrecked knee background.
Yeah.
Like that's not how I got into this. So for me, it's like similar concept, but I think for me, it's like the go-to that I want to have some aspect of in my training is some kind of angle into the foot. So if you think about like pushing a sled, like you're pushing through those toes.
Yes.
Or if I don't have a sled, I'll do straight leg to burnout, so like 20 plus reps.
Yes.
And then bent knee to burnout. So for me, this was more like because I couldn't play basketball, and so positions like this, you can progress. So like I was maybe about here, and then kind of getting comfortable, like, oh, I can handle my knees over a bit more.
Sure, yeah.
To where now it's like, now there's no pain and I can just like get in here. So this actually.
How many reps are you doing there?
Like 20 plus.
20 plus.
So at this point I don't count.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go till I'm like at burnout.
Yes.
In that position. Or like I said, if I have a sled, I'll push the sled forward really with intention through those toes.
Yes.
It's like stretching the toes, and then I'll drag the sled backward, push it forward. So that's one way.
Yes.
And the other way, as I showed you, is like with a wall, straight leg to burnout, bent knee to burnout. Or a way to kind of do like two at once is to get into like a calf stretch.
Yep.
And then get into that big toe calf. And since we're doing this video completely cold.
Yep. No warm up.
Why don't you try some of my stuff to warm up, and I'll do some of your stuff to warm up.
Let's do it. So I want to add one more because I completely agree with that pushing forward sensation, right? So doing a lot of like animal movements and stuff.
Yes.
I kind of call this like a horizontal squat even. So we start to get a little bit of wrists as well, and then we just rock those hips back, and it is kind of that sled pushing position here, right? So we can kind of rock. Boom,
this is like a primal sled kind of.
The primal
so it's the same.
I love that.
And I think that's really why I want to do this video with you so badly, is to actually show the positive side of some of these differences. Because this is like, I'm having that same intention. I can feel this warming up the legs. I can feel this stretching the big toes.
Yes.
And those are the same things I'm trying to do.
Right, right.
This is fantastic. This is like if someone said, could I do this instead of the sled? I would say yes. Yeah.
I love it. And
this is great.
I love getting some actual calf activation though, right? Something that I think that we're all probably lacking a bit.
Yeah, for me it was like, so the knee problems, then I started getting like out of shape, a bit heavier. Then when I would try to get back in shape, not only did the knees not do well, but I would get like really bad shin splints.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what kind of led me to this sort of like strengthen the lower leg while gradually getting into that knee positioning. And yeah, try that bent leg version a bit. Yeah, there you go. Yep, that's it. So you're like going down into your ankle mobility, and then you're going up into your big toe mobility.
Ooh.
Yep. It's almost like your body will move like a couple inches up and then a couple inches. So it's actually an isometric for the knee. So like the quad is on like a pure isometric right now. Nice.
Oh, dude, yeah, this is, whew.
I personally think that one's still underrated for athletes struggling to play their sport without pain.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're owning this athletic position with the leg while getting calf raises.
And I think a cool thing about kind of both of our techniques here is that the whole body is so activated, right?
Yeah.
Like I love that my quad is
right, it's not like a passive warm, like
here.
like this is a pretty productive warm up.
Yes.
Like this is just how I start training. Like within 5 minutes of you starting, not only are you getting warm, but you've actually done productive stuff.
Right.
Like when my kids were younger and one of them starts crying and my workout's over after 5 minutes, I'm like, well, I still did something productive.
Yes, yes.
It wasn't like, oh, I didn't get to start my workout. No, I start my workout from the first second.
And that's really cool to be able to work on mobility and get your heart rate up a little bit as well at the same time, get that body warmed up.
Now I want to look at the scalability because I was showing you here, like someone can start and it's like, are you on 2 legs or 1? And then like, how far are you bending? So like pretty much anyone can start. Like this would be much easier. And then here would be harder. But on the, I wanted to see if you had any tips on that. So let's see, this one you were like here and then you were rocking back.
Yeah, so.
Any tips on scalability there?
Scalability.
I think that's a fantastic exercise.
So in its like base level, like this can just kind of be more of like a child's pose, right?
Right, by taking the knee off the ground, that would increase difficulty.
Exactly, right. And now we're working some hip flexion, right? This is great for squatting and whatnot. When we graduate to lifting those knees, now we're gonna load the toes and the calves more. And then, you know, we're talking feet right now, but also getting those shoulders to rock over the hands really has a good effect on your wrist mobility as well.
Oh, I see that,
right?
I see that.
So we're turning this into kind of like a full body thing where our core is really active as well. Boom. And yeah, priming those big toes to, you know.
Yeah, and I would say as a further, for people with that gnarly knee injury history, it would almost be like go from like more padded with the knee on the ground to then getting that knee up. Because I would have been like scared to start this because of like, oh my gosh, like my knee on the floor. Like, but
totally,
but go for more padding. And so you have a really smooth scale from here to then the knee being up.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful, that's a winner. I'll throw one more in for you a little bit because you had the, because you then had the front as well.
Yeah.
What I would do there, I'll have you do 1 set to burnout. So rise your big toes up and then go down to the pinky toe, up, big toe, up. And I want you to do that until you like can't get your toes up.
Okay,
Give one of those a shot. Okay, so big toes up, down to the pinky toe, up, down to the big toe. So it's like a reverse calf raise, but we're throwing, and you don't have to throw in the rotation. If you've had past ankle sprains, then I think it's nice. And then
getting that rotation through the
there
ankle,
you go. Keep going.
Feels really good.
Up and then down, up and then down. So similar, I found this like helped my knee because when I would try to get back to playing basketball to slow down, it's just like a little extra helper when decelerating before you get into the knee pressure.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
When I'm going pure body weight, I do the straight leg calf raise, then
the way
flip around for this, and then I go to the bent knee. So it's like straight leg, then tibialis, then bent knee. And now we're in position to start like moving.
Yeah,
and that's when I start then the step ups.
Okay. And the way I can regress that is by moving my heels closer to the wall.
And like super regressed for someone is they could actually keep a foot down. Like you won't feel as much, but someone could do 1 leg at a time like this. And then super progress, try to lift this whole leg up. Like take the whole foot off the ground. Now see, can you lift the toe? So you see there's infinite. There's infinite progression. Like Michael Jordan would have been challenged. So when he's going to dunk, boom, he's like right there.
Right.
Well, doing that single-legged would be just crazy hard.
Right. So now we just hit everything, front side, backside.
And our legs are kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
With either, because this also gets the legs ready to go.
Right.
So now we were like completely cold, talking for the last hour.
Yeah.
We wanted this to be with no warm up. So like we're already getting warm.
Oh, I'm
while
feeling
putting
good.
in.
Cool to see the knees over toes guy jump in real life too. You know, I've only seen it.
So
on
here's
camera.
like, if I want to really like handle and then standing farther, trying to get that toe up, and then I could go down a pinky. But it's like, look, there's like a 1 rep max.
Yeah.
1 rep max of the tib.
Yeah, it really makes sense if you've had any knee issues, if you have cranky knees, to be getting this as strong as you can.
Yeah.
And progressing that over the course of weeks and months.
Yeah, I like it, and I think this is gold, what you're doing. I think with this one, this is equally gold. So the cool thing for people is like, you got options.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I'm sure the squat is gonna come up a lot as we're
wanna
talking
get into
today.
that
But maybe we move
we're kind of moving up into the squat, because you're like here, right?
Right.
All right, squat mobility. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first.
All right, I'll go first this time? Okay, so number one is like, if you watch your kids, like they can all squat deep.
Yes.
I think if we let them in school just like chill out more and not have to sit in chairs.
Yes.
So I think like number one for squat mobility is like, just don't remove your squat mobility from your life before saying like, you must do this.
Right.
And then there's 2 specific things I do for squat mobility.
Okay.
For the ankle part, because when you squat, so it's partly ankle, and then you have to actually sink down between that.
Right.
So you have the inner thigh part, and you have the ankle part. And so this full range of motion split squat, on a squat, you're straight up and down.
Yes.
With the split squat, you'll notice how my body is going to move diagonally.
Okay.
So I'm getting a bit more load. It's kind of like a loaded squat stretch for the ankle mobility portion.
Yeah.
So that, by progressing from higher to lower, I can really work that leg portion of the squat.
Yeah.
And to go even more regress for someone. Average person, I would say, set up with something to balance and work. So I've got something to hold on to. So this is going to be easier than then like dropping it down here. This is going to be tougher for the strength and the flexibility.
Sure, yeah. Do you think even intermediate height of like something like a plate off the ground?
Great point. I'm glad you said that. Yes. So bumper plates are a common one without having to buy equipment to then measure your progress. Like, okay, can I get into a deep squat on one leg? And then you go lower.
Yes.
So it's a gradient scale.
Okay, yeah.
And then for the inner thigh, I'm trying to stretch those adductors. So I'm using weight to pull myself into that inner thigh position here. So I'm stretching those inner thighs as a bonus. So you can see this is the hip portion of that squat.
Ah, yes.
So here's a deep squat and my knee's not even over my toes.
Yes.
So it's a combination of that ankle. This would be like poor hip mobility, but good ankle mobility.
Yes.
And so then here, I'm kind of sitting between those 2 exercises. Like this is my go-to when I'm training 80-year-olds to deadlift. So whether it's students or faculty that I'm training, here it's like, all right, intention, stretch here, strengthen the lower back. And then as you're like hitting the floor, let's actually work on retracting those shoulder blades.
Yes, okay.
So it's a really nice foundational seated deadlift.
Yeah.
If the bar was on your back, you would call it a seated good morning. Because people are like, isn't that a seated good morning? Well, yes, but like this is a Romanian deadlift.
Right.
This is a standing good morning. Right. Typically, deadlift just means you're picking something up.
Yeah.
Good morning means you're bending over with the bar on your back. But a bar on the back telling someone to bend over is a little scarier than here. It's like you get tired. Okay, you can let them go.
Yeah.
All right, now I need a break because I'm gonna.
Okay, so really quick, I'm gonna talk about what you mentioned. I think this is like really fascinating of people trying to get into a deep squat position, and sometimes there's argument: do we need more dorsiflexion or do we need more hip capacity, basically hip mobility? And I had an ankle injury 4 years ago. I have half of the dorsiflexion in this right ankle as I do in this left.
Wow.
So, personal anecdote that dorsiflexion helps a lot for getting a deep squat, but it's not completely necessary. So if you do have really stiff, stubborn ankles, we both played basketball when we were young, ankle rolls and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just hard to unlock more dorsiflexion. You can make up for it with your hip. With that being said, though, still work on your ankles.
Yeah, concurrently.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So that's been kind of interesting in my own process to find the steep squat positions.
You want to try that seated deadlift?
I would love to.
And then I was going to say that for that left ankle, yeah, like getting into the ankle mobility, not just as a stretch, but then strengthening from it. That for me has just been so wonderful for like the past ankle injuries. And then for good measure, yeah, work that other side.
Yes.
And then you don't really have to take a break because while you're resting the calf, you can go right to the tib.
Right.
So these go between the feet. And then even though like you have easy mobility to grab them, but you're gonna actually try to like retract your shoulder blades. So go down to get them. Now retract your shoulder blades. There you go. And you can even bend your arms a little bit if you have to get more range. So now when you go down, you're gonna try to stretch that adductor, that inner thigh muscle. You feel that stretch?
Oh, yes.
Yep. And now you've got a nice foundational exercise to build the lower back muscles. Whew. It's like a regression of deadlifting because you have less to worry about, but you're deadlifting through your full mobility. So you're taking your mobility and you're getting strong through the mobility. So like for me, those are like two categories that if I've got something inner thigh and then that full split squat, or quite frankly, the full split squat or that calf raise I showed, but something ankle and something hip.
What I really like about you using these dumbbells on the ground is the bottom up approach here. So you mentioned like putting something on your back, that feels a little bit scarier, but here I can kind of pull myself into that nice deep position where I feel those adductors stretch and the hips stretch, and then work out of there.
Yep. Similarly with that full split squat, I like to use dumbbells because it encourages you to go closer to the ground. Whereas if you're barbell, you'll like stop short because you're scared, like what if I get into a tricky position? So with the dumbbell versus the bar on the back, it's like it actually gets like safer because you can let those down.
I like that, yeah. I've been caught at the bottom with the bar on my back a couple times. Whoa, whoa.
I just found it wasn't necessary for my goals.
Yeah.
Like I think you can then do your squatting or whatever with a bar. But for split squatting, I think dumbbell
works
good.
great.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
We got toes, we got like the squat mobility. Then I think there's other hip areas though, right? Like to the outside, back.
Yes.
You want to start digging into those?
Absolutely.
Or do you need a break from that one?
That actually took it out of me, but
well, the whole core is like working really hard.
Yes. Yeah, and I also like that that's priming the hamstrings because essentially it's kind of like this pancake position.
It's a bit of prep for that. And I would even say if someone has the seated deadlift and or pancake, like to me, as long as you've got something in that department, I actually think you're fine. Like just something in that category.
Totally. Yeah, learning to hinge and I think like lengthening through the backside in whatever form that is, whether it's that or just working on some like straddle pancake type positions. Actually, if you look at the angle of my torso, it's like deep squat versus pancake, same angle of the torso actually. This one we're lengthening the hamstrings, and this one we're bending the knees and pulling them up, right?
Bingo. Also a big fan of the pancake. Standing pancake is another option I'll use for like athletes to try to get the groin stronger where you're like, so like here, it's easy to stand. And as you go wider, like the groin has more load on it.
Yes.
And so trying to actually like handle that strength through there.
I found the same thing
because that can help get into some of that seated pancake.
We do not use our hamstring or our adductors very much in traditional gym exercises and lifting. Right?
And this would be another similar. So as long as someone has like if you had this or that seated deadlift, I would say I could work with that. I could pick any of those, and I know that I could keep a body with above average mobility and resilience.
Yeah, Cossack squats were really big on my journey because when I started, it was really hard for me to open the hips. My adductors were really weak.
Let's do that progression now. Cossack squat.
Okay, yeah.
From low to high, like let's help people if they don't know how to get into that.
Okay, yeah. So I think that elevating your heels can help because sometimes it's just getting a bit more dorsiflexion will help you get deeper. And a regression that I really like is actually using your hands for some assistance here.
That's cool.
And obviously we can also elevate And this is just gonna make getting into this leg a little bit easier. You could also use some hands for assistance. You could put your hands on a little box here, and you can work side to side or one at a time.
I was just gonna say the same concept, like for people who are really worried about the knees,
Yeah.
something to hold on to as like a get out of jail free card, and then like elevating, so you can like gradually, so you're like in your mind, it's like, all right, I'm gonna get into a deep squat, but I'm gonna stretch here.
Yes.
So the elevation and like assistance or like some people are stronger, but if they're here, they'll just like fall back. So the counterbalance for some people who are more flexible or who are stronger but stiffer, that counterbalance, you can now get into like really good stretch. So I think of it as,
Love that, yeah.
I think of it as elevation and or like counterbalance as two different helpers to get down there.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, counterbalance helped me out a lot in the beginning because I was just able to bottom that out.
Oh yeah, if all I had was this for that inner portion of the squat mobility, like I think like that would work for me.
Totally.
Any of these tools.
And do you like lifting your toe? Do you mix it up at all?
I like going here and then like rolling it there.
And then roll.
But I don't care what people do on it.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion on it.
Exactly. I think both are great. I think for me, my adductors get a little bit more of that stretch if I try to keep my toe down. It's just kind of a little fine detail.
Yeah, I think that's next level.
Right.
I think the toe up is probably
toe
more,
up allows me to kind of sink in there. It's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
This.
That's going to be that's going to be the more elite like inner thigh. And then here, I think a little bit of a balance, that hamstring and inner thigh for like more general. Like for attaining a middle splits, I think you'd have to get more specific.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But middle splits is not necessary at all, right? It's just, that's what I love about, I think, both of us. We're not going for these super elite flexibility goals. We're just like trying to get the juice from, the basics.
We've got little kids. We want to be healthy and active for them.
Yes.
Knock on wood, I've had no injuries since having kids. Haven't had a knee injury in over 10 years. Like that's what I train because I am so grateful to have been over 10 years without a knee problem.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a knee problem again.
Yeah. You remember what it's like to have those issues.
Yeah. I would advise for anyone, like stay with that gratitude. Yeah. The fact that you can make any progress, whereas 90+% of the world is going to be getting stiffer and weaker.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can get stronger and more flexible.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about the measurements.
Yeah.
I care about, wow, I can actually do something about that.
And it's simple. Like you've seen, like it doesn't take that many tools or equipment or anything. Like you can do this at home.
Look what we've done so far. All bare bones.
Yeah, yeah.
Free weights, body, wood.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to the hips because really relating to squat mobility and hips feeling good. I think one thing that helped me a lot that I didn't realize in the beginning of my journey was actually getting better at internal rotation of the hip, right?
Nice.
So I actually struggled a lot with external rotation as well. Like I could not do pigeon stretching when I first started. And I did that a bunch and it slowly improved. But then when I started to get comfortable with sitting into hip internal rotation, that's when things really changed for how my hips actually felt. I started, oh wow, they don't feel tight all the time,
Nice.
So I think a great place to start is just getting into this 90-90 position. The more that you tuck your knee, the easier it is. I've had a lot of people who, they're like this, they can't even really get to this position. That's okay. I think a good regression is actually just to sit on the floor like this, and then everybody can do some sort of working their knees from side to side here. Over time, you'll find, oh wow, I can touch that knee down now. Oh wow, I can start to sit up without the hand now. So we're just kind of smoothing into that internal rotation. I'll share the one that when I started to get comfortable here, to step that up is to actually push the knee into the ground, raise the hips, and then it's a lot about the eccentric here, lowering, really pushing that knee in, trying to sit more into that back hip. All these good internal rotation muscles, they turn on and they get stronger in this position. That really changed.
That's amazing.
My squat mobility feels super deep here. If you look at Olympic lifters, you'll see when you get to that deep squat, a lot of us internally rotate at the bottom. So internal rotation I view as kind of that one that a lot of people aren't training, but has like potential to really facilitate like some nice smooth moving hips.
I really like that. I agree with all that. And I think, again, it's cool that like anyone, like if you're watching this video, you could start working on this.
You could start sitting in
I
this
like how
position.
you had it here because someone can just get it moving. Because, again, like my old knee self is like, I was much more scared to get into this stuff because of just the knees, actually.
Right.
And so, yeah, I did the more gentle, like I did the more like kind of scared, like pigeon work.
Yes.
And I think that's really good, but I like what you're doing better because it's like you're getting the rotation there and the rotation here. And again, by having kids, oh my gosh, they're so mobile. And again, it's not to say that an adult should be as mobile as a kid. But if you look at what kids naturally do, and then we like remove that, and now we're just sitting in chairs.
Yes.
So my philosophy with my kids is they'll have a mat next to their desk at school, and like if they want to chill out and like read like this, they can read. So I think similar to the squat mobility, I don't think I'll ever have to tell my kids the word squat mobility or internal external rotation.
Yep.
I think by them just chilling here, reading, because this is what they do now naturally.
Yes.
So let me just not remove that. But then to get it back, I think this is gold that people can just start. Like if you're watching this and you think you're bad at this, this is your sign to like keep watching. But do this.
Yeah,
do this while you're watching.
But you make a great point there that if you sit on the ground and you're reading or you're on your phone or something, your body's going to naturally start finding these positions that like these are just natural for us as humans to use.
Yeah.
And removing chairs can kind of restore a lot of the hip and lower body mobility.
Yeah.
If you've lost it a lot, that's when we need to like implement more techniques,
if you've
mobility
lost it,
drills.
Boom, just like the other stuff for the squat mobility, we've shown these regressions. So now if someone has a way that anyone can start working on that, and then maybe it can just like get back to being a part of your life. I wouldn't add anything to that one. I like that.
Do you want to show pigeon and external rotation a little bit?
I don't feel too strongly about it. I like how with this one
You're automatically
that you can
getting
go
it.
here, but then you could still kind of lean forward this way.
Yeah.
And then, you could go back. Like, I think that basically what I do is I just like sit around with my kids and do shit like that.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything to add there.
Yeah. So you make a great point because I've actually come to that same realization that I think from actually squatting, we get a lot of that necessary range that you take from trying to do pigeons. So I think simply spending time in the deep squat, doing split squats, this type of thing, like you don't necessarily have a big need for it.
Yeah, it's cool how it can flow with your life. Like this doesn't actually have to remove time from your overall schedule. It can just be part of your life. Stretch there, throw in a little here.
Yeah.
I'll maintain that for life.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
One thing I remember. So this is probably something that you don't teach anymore, I'm guessing. But like I really liked it when you talked about it years back. Was I believe it was Ginobili touching the foot to the head.
Like if you follow basketball, Manu Ginobili was like the top guy who wasn't a starter, so he'd have to come in like cold.
Yeah.
So he was like the sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
And you could see him like before, like the coach would call him, and he'd be like that.
Yeah.
To like, and then hop in the game. But like I think that any mobility feat doesn't make sense to force. But I think when you feel like you're getting pretty loose, like if you did a study in society of people who could do that versus like not do that, I think you'd see good effects.
That's just it right there. It's not something that you need to train, but it's like when your body's feeling pain-free, when you have your hips are not restricted anyway, it's like, oh yeah, I'm primed, I'm ready to go right now. I can do what I need.
Just from what we were doing there, like I was just copying you kind of like as you're doing it, and it's like, oh yeah, like I'm opened up. So that's why I wouldn't add any further to that.
No.
To finish out explaining that deep split squat, a huge side effect for me is stretching that hip flexor. So like as long as someone has something for that hip flexor, I think that makes sense. Like if I go on a plane flight, I'm just gonna sit like a normal person. I'm like
sure.
And so naturally we drive or whatever. We're sitting like that
on
a lot.
Computer sometimes, right?
Yeah. So again, you can elevate the front foot. You can hold on to something. So I'm not just working the front here. I'm also like trying to get an active stretch through that hip flexor. So as long as someone has something for that, I think that's great.
Absolutely, yeah. So I learned this from Ido Portal years back. He kind of popularized this stretch called the diagonal stretch. Now, this isn't necessarily for beginners, but I do think that this it forces the hip into an open position in a very unique way that can be really good for someone that has done a good amount of hip flexor stretching. They've done their couch stretch, which we can show a little bit of.
Yep.
And it's simply going into a lunge position like this. We're gonna bend back knee, we're gonna bend front knee, and we're gonna push the hip forward, and then we're just gonna slightly try to reach to that back calf here, right?
Yep.
So now we're getting like loaded in this really open hip position, and I think actually this comes from Tai Chi or Qi Gong or something.
Yeah.
It's something that people would do in kind of flows like this, and you feel like it doesn't look that crazy, but when you try it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot on that front hip.
So you've got, for people to see here, like,
have you done this before?
No. I think I like tried it one time. I've never trained it.
Yep.
So for people to see here, you're like squeezing this butt to stretch here.
Exactly.
So you're
really
feeling
trying
that,
to lock those hips.
You're feeling that stretch. And then I wasn't paying like full attention to what you're doing.
That's
but here you're like, boom, you're like a loaded stretch.
And you're doing that very good too. So sometimes people might want to kind of like avoid getting that hip extension like this, but we're trying to open up, boom, and we're getting some good opening of the torso and
so I suppose for someone to scale it, if you even like, if you assisted and just like didn't go as far, you might
exactly
like something like that. Like,
that's the cool one. Is this one?
Like someone could still work on.
That's it. This one scales easily to just, you don't have to touch your leg. Just simply leaning back a little bit and pushing forward, you're gonna feel like, wow, that position is probably pretty weak for most people. Just getting a little bit of strength there, I think it really opens up that hip extension.
I like that one. I would throw another option. I find this one just kind of helps lube everything up. I'm gonna kick here. It's just like thinking to like kick in front and then actually trying to like kick back.
Oh yeah.
So, because for kids, it's like they can see this and they can start, and you get a bit of strength, and then you flip it around. So you're like kicking there. So I find for kids, like they kind of like doing that.
Yeah.
And I can have big groups and they can do it.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like, I think you must do that. No, I think you should have something in there, something in there. Like if someone had those positions, no, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this even for me. So if I'm doing more of an athletic workout, I'll warm up that way.
Yeah. Let me try that.
4-way leg swing.
I like the kicking up in the back too, right?
Yeah, it kind of activates the hips.
Yes. One thing like I've found a lot of value in the past 8 years of like going heavily into mobility is like stretching is not always the most fun thing to do.
Yeah.
If we can find ways that just makes it
I'll
feel
do this
more
like in the living room sometime.
Right.
If I've just been like watching the kids for a ton of hours.
Right, yeah.
Just want to like loosen up for fun.
Yeah. If we can find ways to increase our mobility that are like fun and movement related, that's always kind of my go-to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this one's low time investment, low skill investment. Probably better for someone to realize like it's just gonna help the overall loosening up process.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be like one magic trick.
Yeah, sure.
But heck, for a body that's just like this, goes to work, sits down, to then be like opening up these different ranges, like that might work for someone, just that.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's dynamic in nature, so.
Yeah, you'll feel, you might even be like sore in here the next day if you do like a couple sets of it because of the like the effort there.
Yes. You want to go to like hamstring?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's actually a great primer to stretch the hamstrings.
That's a good point.
Something like this.
My go-to for like 10 plus years has just been like loading up into that hamstring flexibility.
Yeah.
So this is like my main deadlift is like I'm trying to stretch those upper hamstrings. So in my mind, it's like, all right, I'm not going to let my back round. I'm going to stretch into those hamstrings pretty much with that. Plus then like for that hip flexor. Yeah. So like loaded split squat, loaded RDL is like how I keep my splits without working on a split. So I never work on a splits.
You've never worked
I don't
on
do a
splits.
long lunge, which is a great exercise.
Yeah.
I do those two are the meat and potatoes.
Wow.
For me.
Wow.
Yeah. So the loaded loaded split squat and the loaded full stretch RDL.
Okay. Yeah. With the RDL, are you thinking about like at this in range here, like anything with the pelvis position or anything? Because I know like sometimes an RDL can get a little roundy and
I'm more thinking about stretching the upper hamstrings.
Okay.
And as you get flexible, I mean, for one thing, it helps to have someone coach your form from the side.
Yeah.
So like even if it's me, I don't know what it looks like from the side.
Yeah.
But you will see how there's actually that kind of a stopping point, which is that, okay, I'm not rounding it. If I were to round, I'm already resting on, like this is not a high tension position. So if I wanted to start an argument but I actually feel this way. Like if I could only do one backside exercise,
Yeah.
I would go resist rounding, resist rounding, resist rounding, resist rounding, round, 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 resist rounding, resist rounding, resist.
Wow, yeah.
Like I actually, my conclusion, I actually don't use the Jefferson curl.
Okay.
I actually prefer to use that RDL and then use a back extension machine for people to be in like a more comfortable low position where, see with the back extension machine, you're not lifting like that, you're lifting out of a rounded position.
Okay, yeah.
So I believe in going into and out of a rounded position.
Okay. That's one thing I love about you, man, is I know that you were big on Jefferson curls for a while.
Yeah.
And you're willing to change when you find new evidence that maybe we don't need it.
Yeah, this would be similar, right? That's a standing good morning.
Yeah.
If I do these, I actually go like that, and then I come out.
Wow, okay.
So if I'm like, okay, like as a break, if I don't have a back extension machine, okay, so I've never even posted this because I think people would take it wrong, but this is a full video. If I don't have a back extension machine, I go barbell. Once I can't resist, round, come out of rounding. So you'll know the weight's too much. If you have to lift like that, you couldn't actually come out of rounding.
Okay.
There you go. Like,
I think that is super powerful.
I don't even know what,
I've never done this before.
I don't even know what name that would be, and I'm trying to think how to put it on Instagram in a way that people are not going to freak out. But yeah, so first, don't let your back round.
Okay, yeah.
Go as low as you can.
Extension.
Good, and now go into a rounded position. Grip the bar, pull like it's a pull-up, pull upward, and now come out of a rounded position. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, and what's cool about that is you actually feel your hamstrings tension.
And make sure, because the bar, you're going to be upside down. So just make sure
and
that
then
you're
round.
pulling the bar. Yep.
Not
and
as
now come
much
out.
Hamstrings, and
there
then
you go.
Find my hamstrings.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So you don't lift with a round, you come out of a round.
Dude, that is really cool. I like that a lot.
I respect the sides of the debate where it's like only lift like this, and then it's like, no, lift with a rounded back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see both. I see be strong like this and be able to go into and out of. Like I don't want to be
anti-fragile there.
Like this would be less ability, whereas this would be more ability.
Yes.
I have not had a back problem in 10 plus years too. And it's, I do need some kind of flexion.
Yeah.
So I use a back extension machine, relatively lightweight, higher rest, but I'm on the back extension machine and I'm intentionally rounding and then coming out of a rounded position. All right, so here, I like kettlebell because it keeps it nice and close to you so it's not gonna like hit the floor. Yeah. So I'm actually rounding, coming out of a rounded position, and then I'll do like 20 to 30 reps like this. Like try a set till you like burn out.
Okay, yeah.
Go nice and slow. Don't even count the reps.
So we get nice and rounded.
And I think I had, like grip it like up. That way, because otherwise the bars tend to get in the way of your elbow. So it's just, I'm just trying to dodge that. Yeah, so in your mind, now round your back. Yep. And now come out of a rounded position. So try not to lift with a round. Try to come out of a rounded position.
Okay. So we get here.
Flex.
Rounded.
Now on. There you go, like that.
Oh yeah, that's.
If I do that once a week, and I do like an RDL or even that seated deadlift once a week, so like something resisting rounding plus something intentionally going into and out of a rounded position, that works for my back.
Really, just feel that whole backside.
Oh, you'll feel the hamstrings, the glutes. I think this is still incredibly underrated, and I'll actually show you how I put my like 85-year-old on this that I train.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us as we age, gravity's trying to pull us down to the earth.
Yeah.
And this is literally doing the opposite.
Yeah, and it's much harder to come out of a rounded position than to just lift with a round. Like you're actively coming out of a rounded position. So you'll feel it burning.
Dude, that's so good.
And I'll show you how I get because I coach a faculty class at the school, and so I have to get everyone into every exercise. So they come down here, like once they can handle their own body, they're actually using this, stretching. If I'm training like our track team, like a hurdler might go here, get some single, and then at the top, like have them like squeeze it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because the hurdlers, we just broke 80% of school track records this season.
Wow.
And they're getting stronger and more flexible. So whether it's like hurdle, so for sprinting, they're getting faster. For jumping, they're jumping higher. But even for the stuff like hurdles, those same hurdles are easier to clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, to get that stretch, I'm either using hands or using that
Something to pull you
weight
into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, maybe let's walk back out here.
We're getting nice Texas sweat in here.
Dude, that's it. I probably went off camera, reappeared with my shirt off. It's very humid today. So Hamstrings, like you're just teaching RDL, getting that stretch at the bottom position. I think that's like so nice because you're doubling your strength training with your hamstring stretching. For someone that wants to work a little bit more on the hamstring position, single leg good morning is one thing that helps me out a lot because I had real trouble kind of getting the hamstring behind the knee to unlock. Like I couldn't straighten my knees when I first started all this. So getting into that straight knee position and then just finding a good hinge down. What's really nice about this is it could scale to any level. I could have my torso at this position here, you know, like, and then just over time, we're trying to get deeper and deeper. Can we get that parallel body position? Can we maybe even move a little bit past it?
If I had only that, then I would be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
In total, we've probably covered 5 or so like categories.
Yep.
And that's how I view it. Like have something for each category.
Yes.
that you like, that works for you, that's accessible for you.
Right.
So that's a really nice one that I can use when I like don't have any equipment.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic exercise.
And I think the good ones are
I like
ones
the single leg nature of it too.
Exactly. Because you could do it, you could start 2 legs for sure.
Good point.
But with just body weight, it's moving to 1 leg is going to be your best bet and really getting that hamstring to lengthen under load. And it scales to, you know, you can go deeper or you could hold a little weight as well. You know?
Oh,
I think all the good ones are going to scale up and down.
That's gold.
I think that when we first started getting into mobility is there's a lot of info around we sit so much, we need to stretch out the hip flexors, which is very, very important. But I found a lot of that actually strengthening the hip flexors to be able to do what they need to do actually has really good effects on your mobility, like being able to sit into a deep squat. And you're one of the guys that I just pushing that forward, that idea of strengthening the hip flexors. So what do you use these days?
I've used a lot of stuff. There's a lot of great options for my students. And I always copy the training of my students. So I love the simplicity of the push-up bars.
Yeah.
Because we're able, like, people are able to start like feeling it, and then they can start feeling what it's like to straighten a leg.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, and then they have that accomplishment. Even if it's like there, it's like, whoa, I did it.
Yeah.
Like if you were to just go like that the rest of your life, you'd keep strong hip flexors. So I'm like, I love how simple that is.
Yes.
So I think for this video, honestly, that's what I would show. Like I think like anyone can start like working on that, and then whether you get there or not, like even if you're here.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, boom, 30 seconds of work.
I love that it's super scalable, like you just showed. You can keep the knees tucked, right?
Yep.
You can even, like you were showing 1 leg here, this is even a little bit easier, keeping 1 leg tucked and then opening 1 leg like that.
I like
and
it.
It's goal oriented, so you can actually see progress, right?
Yeah.
Like when I first started doing L-sits, I was kind of like this, and then like over the course of the years, now I'm like able to get so much higher, right? So
I love when simplicity and like results come together.
Yeah.
So it's the same for me. I'm like, oh, hip flexors. All right, let me go over there, like squeeze it, go until I'm like, all right, good. Okay, like we're good. Maintain that.
Yeah.
You know, we could transition into the upper body.
Yeah.
I get people so they go like fully on the knees.
Yep.
And then they're doing knees up and then like handling their body weight down through a full stretch until they can go there.
Yes.
So I only do like a few upper body exercises, a small handful. But that's one of them. Like I want my students and myself to feel good in that like stretch position. Stretch that.
Yeah.
And then from that same thing, like we've got the L-sit.
So you can just combo those back and forth.
I love it, yeah.
So while we're on the conversation of elbows going behind your body, getting strong there, I think shoulder extension is one thing that a lot of us don't do too much of. Deep push-up is, I would highly recommend doing that in your strength training, and you won't even need a whole lot of this, but I've found a lot of value over the years in using this kind of crab position. I think starting out, a good way to go is when I push my hips forward, then I open up that extended position of the arm there. And then eventually we can start to work the hips up.
Oh, wow, nice.
And then that really loads the shoulders into that extended position, right? So you feel that back of the shoulder, you feel the chest and the biceps kind of opening up, getting free of that.
That's fantastic. I love that. You have like the shoulders going back, and then you also have like the actual like middle of the back going that way.
Right.
So if we get like at this point for myself, I'll like, if I'm gonna like finish a workout, I'll be like, all right, let me get in here and just like, so I'll just like go till that like burns out. But previous to that, I did a fair amount of loading a pullover, which was first published in 1911. and was used for
reaction time.
It was used until the 1990s.
Yeah.
Really effectively, and then in the 1990s, in the bodybuilding magazines, there were like some fear campaigns about it, not based on actual like research or studies.
Yeah.
But you have two factors. You have the weight going back, but you also have your hips going down. And so I'm like, and so in my mind, my hips are up right now. I'm gonna drop my hips as the weight's going back. Now I'm feeling the load.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's that bridge position.
Yeah, and someone could go very light and just keep it in the range that feels good.
Right.
And someone could also, I really like the regression to this. So for someone who's scared to get into a pullover, I teach it as, okay, we'll get into this position and then just work the knees back, knees back, knees back. So someone could still get, like if I only did this, I would still stay like pretty strong and mobile there without a weight.
Yeah.
You could do that on a couch or something.
Totally. So I've used, I think they call it butcher block stretch. I use that a ton over the year. That really helped me with opening my shoulders to do handstands. In the beginning, I was like this shoulder flexion kind of guy, and I had to extend my back a bunch. Over the course of doing a bunch of butcher block stretching, really opened up the lats and the pecs. One thing that I do find kind of helpful is to even use like a dumbbell between your hands, because I think that opening the hand up a bit to kind of be an external rotation of the shoulder can help, because I can kind of get better flexion if I dump into my internal rotation, but trying to force that external rotation can be quite nice.
Makes sense.
Same thing, work here, just what Ben showed. Probably starting here with the knees on the ground like this. Over time, those knees become behind the hips, and then finally, can we go into the feet? And what's really cool,
and that's a low-key great ab exercise once you're.
You just feel that whole anterior chain turning on so much, and that's what causes that really nice shoulder flexion to happen, right? And then talking about shoulder flexion in combination with like the butcher's block, the pullover, another great one to throw in is hanging.
Nice.
This is like nature's stretch, right? Let gravity do the work. This just pulls me into really good shoulder flexion here. The only thing I like to kind of think about is pulling my rib cage down, so we get that good natural stretch and we're not super arched in the back. But I know that like you guys do chin up and pull up work in your programming, which just naturally gets hangs in between all of your reps, right? So one thing I recommend is do pull-ups and then get to that full hang position, so then we just double the strength training and the mobility work, at the same time.
And to add for people who like don't come from gymnastic background and all that, like when I teach this, if all you did was just like push there, like that's fine to me, because you're strengthening that stuff. Like who cares if this is like week 1, 2, 3, like over a year, even if it was like if all I did was maintain this, that's still good, like strengthening that way. And so if all I did was like some form of this, like getting that stretch and then the opposite strengthening. And that's cool, no equipment needed.
Dude, that's so cool that I didn't know that you were doing a bit of bridging, because bridging really helped me out a lot, and we actually even teach it in one of our mobility programs.
Oh, nice.
One way I like to start people in it is kind of what you were showing, but like pushing the knees forward a little bit more, right? That's gonna like offload the shoulders a bit, and then we can just kind of see, can we get to like the head like this? It's more on the knees in the lower body, it's less on the shoulders, and then over time you can kind of work to pushing back, opening up that bridge a bit more, right?
That's fantastic.
And kind of a sleeper for the knees is just like pushing those knees forward. It's like a little bit of a different loaded position as like a sissy squat or something. It's not as intense, but you're kind of getting that knee forward, open hip position.
Amazing. I'm already such a big fan of the back extension that I like to then get in there and then stretch here. And I'll just take that, stretch, strengthen, stretch. Honestly, one set of burnout per side every week or two for me.
Really?
And it stays good.
Okay. I've actually never done these before, so maybe you could coach me on them.
Yeah, switch
your top leg cross
It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
People tend to like it, put the other foot in front. Like that, because when you're in like sport, that's kind of how you end up like twisting.
Okay, yeah.
And so, and then you're here, and then the load, the load is like by where the hands are. So if this hand was at the hip, that would be easier. And then here is harder. And then if you were like for advanced goals, you could then hold weight here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're just getting this nice big lengthening
Yeah,
of the
huge
sides
stretch.
here.
Now I want you,
QLs,
for fun, I
obliques.
want you to go to a good burn each side, and I want to see if you get like sore tomorrow, just off one set.
Feeling that I might. 2 days later, my sides are extremely sore in a very productive feeling way. My glutes are actually really sore too from the back extensions that Ben had me do.
Yeah, so really nice stretch through there, strengthening.
Yeah, I mean, this is even probably lengthening that lat a bit too, which is really...
Someone can mimic similar standing, and then you might need some weight. So you can get a similar position, but because you don't have to balance or anything with your legs, and because you're getting to like a pretty parallel position, that's a lot of load, meaning like this is less load than here. So same thing, if someone bends here, that's not as much load as when you're all the way. So like the machine is using your body against you. Like if we think about this whole video, everything was body weight or free weights or like minimalistic wood tools, like the push-up bars or the slant board.
A few dumbbells maybe, if you have them.
This for me is like the first machine that I would get because it just makes it so easy to train the lateral part of the core and the lower back. Like if I have just that plus the free weights, I'm happy with my gym.
And you're doing one set to almost to burn out?
I find that because I stay active and run and jump and stuff like that, like because I do sporting motions, I find that one set to burn out on these per week keeps the area good. And again, that works for me. I haven't had a lower back problem in 10 plus years. I definitely think that helps because we're not just training like our sides, it's actually deeper. It's the quadratus lumborum, it attaches into your lower spine. It's like, so you have one on either side. Like I can't touch it because it's like inside there. So it's like, so if you think about like, we were training like the flexion and then like lower back and this, like, it's like a man-made back brace. That can move. Like I want a back brace that can move.
You hear about a lot of people who have lower back issues. They talk about having a tweaked QL, a tight QL on one area. So it makes sense that you want to lengthen and strengthen both those sides.
Yeah, I've been doing that one for over 10 years.
Wow.
Most of the stuff in this video, this is stuff I've been doing and coaching thousands of times over like 10 years. So I found like, could I add weight or this or that? But I found through years like, oh, actually, just maintaining my body weight.
Okay.
You know, like super easy, 20 plus reps, like gets the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting. I did the martial art capoeira for a while, and you do a lot of this.
Wow. Yep.
Right. So it's this like side bending that's like mixed into a lot of different moves and stuff.
Wow.
And I found that while I don't do as much of it anymore. I found that those years when I was doing that, nothing, like my back always felt so good, so mobile, so able to move, and I credit a lot of it to this like side bending ability.
It completely makes sense. I mean, your lower back is in the middle, so everything around it is there to protect it.
Right.
Not to mention even that overhead work. My theory on like why the low back stays so mysterious of what's causing it, because right in the middle of your back, so like poor mobility here, weak here, tight here, like it's the literal bursting point of the body of anything that's like wrong.
Dude, yeah.
Above or below. So like something could be wrong around it, something could be wrong above it, something could be wrong below it.
Yeah.
So it's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Like if someone's just good at like math and physics, you would see like, okay, this part of the body is gonna take a beating based on other things not moving well around it.
Right, yeah. So we went through like we went through full body here. Yeah. I think one area that I see a lot for people that can get really stiff is wrists, you know, like especially if you spend a lot of time at a desk, on a computer, we're like constantly stuck in this position. And because at strength side, we do a lot of animal movements, primal movements, we're getting people on the ground. You'll see that people will do this a lot of the time because they're scared to load the wrists basically, right? And I think that wrist training doesn't have to be super complicated. I think that simply getting your hands on the ground, we did this in the warm-up of like rocking like this, just simply loading the wrists with the shoulders over the hand can just make them really strong in that position that we're kind of losing. But another one that I really like to use is just finger push-ups. So just simply lifting the heel of the hand, really driving the fingers into the ground. Doing this for a lot of years helped me. Like when I first started training handstands, my wrists were so stiff. And then I've gotten to the point where I can kind of like hop into a handstand without warming up my wrists very much. And that's
exceptional.
Yeah, that's just come from, you know, getting on my hands daily, just doing a little bit of this. This is another one like you're just sitting there with your kids or whatever, you're sitting on the ground, you just kind of do some of this. Now you can work them in the other way to kind of cover some wrist flexion. I like to go fists and then just bring the palm up. Yeah, so on this, we'll naturally bend the elbows. And these are all self-scalable by just putting less weight into the wrists. Once you're getting kind of stronger, you can put more weight into it. This one, you could try to keep your elbows straighter. That's gonna put a really intense stretch in there.
Wow.
But a lot of people come to me and they're like, you know, my wrist, I just can't get that wrist mobility to be able to do handstands. And what people figure out, a lot like ankles, is that it just takes kind of weekly dedication for months, you know. You'll start to see some results over time.
But that's amazing how simple and applicable that is and gets the job done.
Doesn't take much.
That's fantastic. So we went from the toes all the way to the hands.
Yeah.
We just laid out the best of what we know, at least as sharp as we could be today. And so I think it's really cool that you were willing to join me in this and just give away everything we know. So,
dude, no secrets. And I you've been a big influence for me over the years of just like sharing your message and, you know, trying to help as many people as you can. It really comes off as authentic. And I think just like putting it all out there, this was your idea to do this full video of like, let's just go through head to toe kind of mobility. So thanks,
I mean, if we didn't show all that and made like an infomercial, I can honestly say I'm happier than when I got into this business. I feel good about what I'm doing for my kids' sake. Like I feel closer to my kids because I know that what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, like I can be proud of. I can teach them how to have a good life.
Yeah.
And so, and same to you. You and your wife, your kids are happy, and it's just incredible to see how you've done it like this.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been amazing. We do like a sweaty hug.
Absolutely, covered in it. We'll be back again next year from my barn. Deal?
Yeah, so we'll tease out the part 2. We're gonna do part 2, and we're gonna make it a little bit more kids, family oriented.
Yeah, we'll do like a whole youth development thing that anyone could still do, but this is the best we got right now.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you soon.